Hi, all. Welcome to week 7 of Energy for Life. Again, I am Rachel Mikla, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this program thus far. So let's dive into today's topic. We are going to talk about energy promoting vitamins and minerals. So I'm going to share my screen here, and then we're going to go through this module together. Again, I will be going through the written content. And so if you guys want to skip this video and just read it on your own, you are more than happy to do that. Otherwise, if you guys would like to listen to this video instead, let's get started here. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going into the module. So energy promoting vitamins and minerals. So now, obviously, we hope that you have learned that in order to have increased energy, you can't just take a magic pill. So many people want to do that, right? But you need the adequate hydration, proportionate consumption of macronutrients. And if you guys have questions about how to calculate your macronutrients, which we did several modules back, feel free to reach out to us. But also quality ingredients in your food is going to give you more energy, and as well as having a plan and preparing meals ahead of time. But there are also certain vitamins and minerals that will give you a little bit more boost of energy, which I'm going to go through today. Now, these foods just on their own, or these vitamins just on their own, aren't going to be this magic cure-all. But if you try to have a consumption of different foods that have some of these vitamins and minerals in them, then you could notice more energy. So let's dive into it. First of all, the first vitamin mineral I want to talk about are B vitamins. So B vitamins are the main vitamin that supports our metabolism and provides ourselves with energy, our bodies with energy. So you may have heard people taking B vitamins to improve their energy, and the reason being is because these are what provide our bodies with the main amount of energy. B vitamins are actually water soluble, meaning that what we don't utilize will be excreted in your urine. So sometimes if you're taking a B vitamin when you don't necessarily need it, you could just be paying for expensive tea. Listed below are the 8 B vitamins, and we don't expect you to remember all these. I wanted to list them just so you could be aware of them. However, a couple of them we want to bring a little bit more increased attention to. So vitamin B9, which is also known as folate, it is very important, especially during pregnancy, because it reduces the risk of neural tube defects in babies. But it also is just important for every individual because it helps form red blood cells. And more red blood cells gives us more oxygen, which gives us more energy. So food sources of these B vitamins, of folate, is leafy green vegetables, also some enriched grains, beans, and fruit. So trying to incorporate these foods in your diet could be beneficial for you. Now, you may be wondering, do I need to supplement? Now, as we're going through all of these different vitamins and minerals I'm talking about, please know that this is highly individualized and the information provided here is for general guidance. If you guys want more guidance on this, feel free to reach out to us. If we need to do a deep dive into things, maybe we would have you sign on for some one-to-one nutrition coaching. But overall, general guidance is that most men and women that are not planning on pregnancy should be able to obtain the majority of their folate needs from a well-balanced diet. However, if planning on becoming pregnant or actively pregnant, additional supplementation is needed. And not all supplements are created equal, which we're going to talk about after I go through the different vitamins and minerals that are important for energy. So hold on tight. The next B vitamin that is important is B12, also known as cobalamin. So this one is very important because it turns the food we eat into usable energy. You may have taken yourself or heard of friends that take B12 supplements to improve their energy. And it's because it turns the food we eat into usable energy, and so potentially could give you a little bit more energy. And it also creates new red blood cells, just like folate. Now, the main food sources of B12 are animal products. So any type of animal product, and then also some breakfast cereals are fortified with B12. You may be wondering, hey, do I need to supplement with this? Now, again, Most men and women that consume animal products should be able to obtain the majority of their needs from a well-balanced diet. However, vegetarians may need additional supplementation depending upon if they eat eggs, if they eat dairy products. Vegans for sure need a B12 supplement. Now, let's move on to another vitamin mineral that is important for energy. Iron. Iron is very important for energy because it is very common to feel fatigued if our iron levels are low in our body. So iron, most people know it makes red blood cells. It also is a main component of hemoglobin, which is a protein in our red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout our body. So the more iron we have, we don't want too much iron, obviously, but if we have an adequate amount of iron in our body, then we have more red blood cells and it's able to carry more oxygen throughout our body, leading us to be less fatigued. That's always the goal, right? We want less fatigue in our lives. But iron is also very important for growth and development, especially for like kids, teenagers, and then throughout pregnancy too. Now, food sources of iron, there are two different forms, heme and non-heme iron. So heme iron is what is more bioavailable, meaning that our body will absorb it better. And this comes from animal products. So any type of animal product, specifically kind of those red meats, as well as like dark poultry, is going to have that heme iron in it. And non-heme iron is going to come from more of like your vegetable grains, as well as your just non-animal proteins. So spinach, beans, lentils, fortified cereals. And it's not as bioavailable. However, you're still going to get iron from these non-heme sources. And in order to improve the absorption of iron, we say take that food with a food that's rich in vitamin C to improve the absorption. So for example, spinach is great in non-heme, has a lot of non-heme iron in it. So make a spinach salad and put in some like red bell peppers to get that vitamin C. It will improve your iron intake. Or if you're having, I know like people will sometimes have like an orange or some orange juice if they're having like a fortified cereal in the morning. With the orange juice, you of course want to be mindful of the sugar consumption. We would rather have you have like an orange instead because you're also going to get the fiber and nutrients from that orange versus orange juice, but that's another example for you. Now, do you need to supplement with iron? Now, it is recommended to check your iron levels every single year to determine if you have iron deficiency anemia. And the items that should be checked should be your hematocrit, your hemoglobin, and your ferritin. Those are all going to be important instead of just like checking your hemoglobin. So like your ferritin is your iron stores. Your hemoglobin may be fine, but if your iron stores or ferritin levels low, you're still going to have some iron deficiency anemia. So people who are at higher risk of developing the iron deficiency include menstruating women, pregnant or lactating women, children and adolescents going through growth spurts, and then vegetarians and vegans. And if you do supplement, we want you to consider that like iron supplements can cause a lot of constipation and nausea. So while taking iron supplements, it is important that you're drinking lots of fluids, you're consuming adequate fiber, maintaining adequate movement and exercise because that will help with bowel movements. And then also consuming that supplement with a meal can help with the nausea. And there are forms of iron though. There are different forms of iron. And one of them can be a little bit easier on your stomach, I'd say, for absorption purposes, less constipation and nausea. So the form that is normally best tolerated is going to be ferrous bisglycinate, just as an FYI for you. Another vitamin that is important for energy is vitamin D. So many people have heard about vitamin D, right? So vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. So unlike earlier when I was talking about the B vitamins, that's water-soluble, you pee out the excess. Vitamin D is fat-soluble. So you won't pee out the excess, it is going to be stored in your fat tissue. So we don't want to over-supplement with vitamin D. But it's very important for most people to supplement, especially if you live in Minnesota, where I live right now, which I'll get to here down in a little bit. So vitamin D helps our body absorb calcium and phosphorus, which are needed for bone health, and it also increases our immunity. A lot of people in like the winter times are saying, take your vitamin C, take your zinc, which are important, but your vitamin D actually is going to help increase your immunity, just so you know. So food sources of vitamin D is going to be fatty fish, as well as egg yolks, red meat, liver, mushrooms, and fortified foods. However, the best source of vitamin D is from the sun. So, do you need to supplement? Is the main question. And in the northern hemisphere during the summer months, our bodies are able to convert vitamin D from the sun. However, in autumn, winter, spring, we are not able, it's not able to be converted in each state. So if you look at this picture here, you live above this 37th parallel, which is the red line, you're not able to convert vitamin D from the sun in the winter months. So it would be recommended for you to supplement. And the supplementation is going to be 4,000 international units in the winter months. And even in the summer, it could be beneficial to take 2,000 international units because a lot of people aren't outside 24/7. But so 2,000 in the summer is recommended, and then 4,000 in the winter. And I would say the winter is definitely more important for you. But again, we want to have your vitamin D levels checked every year, just like your iron levels check, because supplementation can change depending upon where your numbers are at. So again, like if you are going to supplement, consider that since it's a fat soluble vitamin, it is absorbed best when consumed with a meal or snack, especially one that contains a healthy fat. And there are two forms of vitamin D, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. And so when purchasing a supplement, it is best to purchase vitamin D3 because that is more bioavailable. So your body is going to use it more effectively. All right, another energy promoting mineral is going to be CoQ10 or coenzyme Q10. Now it's an antioxidant actually that our bodies produce naturally. And the main functions of CoQ10 is that it helps produce ATP. ATP is known as the energy unit of the cell, so it helps improve our energy. And it's also important for cell growth and maintenance, and there's anti-inflammatory properties to it, so it can help decrease inflammation in our body. Now, food sources of CoQ10 are fatty fish, eggs, chicken, nuts, organ meats, and whole grains. And you may be wondering, do I need to specifically supplement for this? So most men and women should be able to convert enough CoQ10 in their body, especially when they're consuming a well-balanced diet. However, as we increase in age, levels do decrease, and so some individuals could benefit from additional supplementation. Now, as I alluded to earlier, not all supplements are created equal. So these are the main kind of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that are going to be important to provide you energy. And of course, all vitamins and minerals are important. We want you to have a well-balanced diet that has all sorts of vitamins and minerals, but these are the ones that we wanted to really touch a little bit further on for you. And then specifically, we wanted to go into how not all supplements are created equal. So the reason being is because supplements are not regulated by the FDA, which is the Food Drug Administration. So basically a company can say that their product contains a certain ingredient or has a certain amount of something in it, but it could be false information. Basically, your vitamin D supplement could say it has 2,000 international units. However, it could, if it's not tested by a third party, they could be lying to you, and it could have literally probably 5 international units in it potentially. So we want to have supplements that are third-party tested, meaning that a separate lab has tested the supplement to verify it contains what the manufacturer says it is. So how do you know if your supplement that you're taking is safe? Now, a supplement is verified by a third party if it contains one of the following certifications: USP certified, ESCG, NSF certified for sport, IC or informed choice, and then IS or informed sport. If you see these listed on the label, that means it's a third-party tested supplement. Also, you may sometimes it's not on the label, so you may have to like look on the website and look online to see if it is third-party tested. If you do need new supplements, and if you're unsure as well if they are third-party tested, we use a supplement dispensary called FullScript, and all of the supplements on this platform are third-party tested. So it doesn't always necessarily say it on the bottle, but this dispensary only provides third-party tested supplements. And if you guys want to purchase some supplements from this dispensary, and again, they're all third-party tested, you can use the following link here and you can get 15% off every order. If you would like some recommendations, feel free to message us and ask, because we can totally send you some recommendations as well. But if you just want to browse it yourself and be like, hey, like I normally take a multivitamin all the time, I want to see what's third-party tested, or I normally take vitamin D, I want to see what's third-party tested, you can use that link and just look it all up as well. So this week's action step. We want you to incorporate foods into your diet that includes the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that are listed above. So again, we want you to include foods that have B vitamins, as well as iron, as well as vitamin D and CoQ10. And you can meal plan, as we've talked about meal planning previously, you can meal plan and put in some of these foods to incorporate into your daily intake. Now, bonus action step. If you take supplements, I want you to see if they're third-party tested. So go look at the bottle, see if it has one of those symbols on it. Go on the manufacturer's website to see if we don't see it on the bottle, maybe it is online, because some of them are online instead. Or even feel free to reach out, message if you have questions about it, and we can do some research for you too. But that is kind of it for today's module and going over energy promoting vitamins and minerals. Please reach out again if you do have questions about today's module, about previous modules. We're here for you throughout this entire process. And next week is actually our 8th week, which is crazy. We do have an additional module. So next week is our 8th last module, but we do have a bonus module at the end. So a few more weeks of this program, and feel free to continue to look at this information. And we want you to build each week upon itself. So continue to incorporate those goals that you had from the beginning, and just have that healthy diet and well-balanced diet and improve your energy levels. So I am going to stop sharing my screen here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next week for our next module. Have a good one. Bye.